Hello everyone, Douglas here and welcome to my Doctor Who review, and today I will be reviewing Feel Her. This story was a last minute replacement story for another story that Stephen Fry wrote, and yes, that's Stephen Fry. This story was aimed for kids, and I can see what they were trying to do in this story, and this story predicts the future because this story takes place in 2012 during the London Olympics, and this story was made in 2006, and the London Olympics were 6 years away, and by the time I am doing this review, the London Olympics were 11 years ago. This story is also the first story to be written by Matthew Graham. Our cold open scene begins, and we pan down, and we see the banner for the London Olympics, and we are in a neighborhood. We see a poster for a missing kid, and we see someone is watching. We are introduced to Trish, played by Nina Sonsonia. I think I'm pronouncing this right. And again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. And she is talking to an old woman. We hear a little girl singing, and that is Chloe, played by, sorry if I'm gonna mispronounce this, Apsala Abadjay. Again, I'm sorry. We see Chloe is drawing, and one of the boys vanishes, and he is in the drawing, and the drawing comes to life. And that is a great visual effect. Our opening scene begins, and we see the TARDIS land, and it landed the wrong way. And we see the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, and he fixes it. And that was funny. We see the Doctor and Rose, played by Billie Piper, step out of the TARDIS. We find out from the Doctor the opening ceremony is tonight. We see Rose notices the missing flyers. We see the Doctor runs off, and he is taking a look at the front yard where the boy disappeared, and he feels something. We see Chloe notices a cat, and she starts drawing. We see Rose notices a cat. I love the Doctor's line when he says, "No, I'm not really a cat person." Hello? You were. We see the cat walks into a box, and it vanishes. We see Chloe breaks her pencil, and we see that Rose hears something. We see Rose opens the garage door, and we see a scribbling ball, and the Doctor shrinks it. We see the Doctor and Rose go to Trish's house. We see the Doctor can tell that Trish is scared of her own daughter. We see Rose goes upstairs, and she goes into Chloe's room, and she sees the drawings. We hear a closet door. We see Rose opens the closet door, and we see the drawing of a man. We find out the drawing of the man is Chloe's dad. We find out from the Doctor Chloe has ionic energy, and that is how the pictures are alive. We see the Doctor uses his powers, and we hear a voice that is not Chloe's. We find out the creature is called Isolus. We find out Isolus's pod crash. We see how Isolus possessed Chloe, and it is only a little white speck. We see the Doctor and Rose are going back to the TARDIS. We see Isolus is sneaking out of the house. We see Isolus follow the Doctor and Rose. We see Isolus has more pencils. We find out the pod is in the street. We see Isolus starts drawing the Doctor and the TARDIS, and the Doctor and the TARDIS are gone, so now it is up to Rose. We see Rose gets a pickaxe, and she finds the pod. We see Isolus blocks the door. We see Isolus starts drawing the crowd at the Olympics. We see Rose starts breaking down the door with the pickaxe. Here's Johnny! We see the drawing of the Doctor, and it's pointing at the Olympic torch. We see Rose is running, and she is close to the Olympic torch, and she throws the pod, and it works. We see Isolus releases Chloe. We see Chloe's dad is coming after Trish and Chloe. We do see Chloe and Trish singing, and they defeated her dad. We see the torch barrier collapses, and who takes up the torch? The doctor. And we see the doctor is running with the torch, and that is one of the best moments. And we see him light the Olympic flame. We see Rose is reunited with the doctor. They keep on trying to split us up, but they never will. Oh, really? I like the doctor's line when he says, something in the air, something coming, and no, it's not Phil Collins. A storm's approaching, and that is the end. I will say that I don't think this is not bad as I remember it to be. I think this is a good story. And to be honest, I did enjoy it. Yeah, I know. I will admit, there are some interesting ideas in this story. Like I said in the beginning, this was aimed for kids. I do think the beginning is slow and then it goes fast at the end. I have to say, Billie Piper got a good penultimate story, and she got a lot to do, and now she has one more story left. I do think Matthew Graham's script is good, and I will give Feel Her a 5 out of 10. So, that is my review of Feel Her. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time for my review of the Series 2 finale, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, and we will say goodbye to Billie Piper as Rose Tyler, and the rivalry, 40 years in the making, will become a reality.